Welcome to the Red Raider Coaches Show. I'm your host Shane Bennett, along with Coach Cofer, and we're going to try to end it up this session or this show with kind of a look back at the season. Shoulda, coulda, wouldas, the goods, the bads, the uglies. Thank some folks, give some recognition to some folks that deserve it. Coach, we'll start off in this first segment, just kind of giving a recap of the year. We come in, you guys come in to the year. Whole new coaching staff. Only one coach you coached with before. Well, Coach Williams, I guess you played with, and coached with a little bit, but basically a new staff. But within just a few weeks, to me and most of the community, it looked like y'all had been together for years. They really meshed well together. Come out of the gate playing good. Played some tough games up front, and lost some tough games to some teams that went on are still in playoffs. Right. With all that said, if you look back now, when you came here, I guess it was March, I think we said, is this where you thought we would be? I know you want to thank you. We be at the Dome in a couple of weeks, but I mean, expectations. Where do we stand as far as?
Yeah, as far as wins and losses, you know, I'm always up here. And some people may think that's cocky. I'm not trying to be cocky or anything like that. I just think that we have the ability to do that and get to that point. And am I happy with the wins and losses? No. I mean, is it a winning season? Yes. But like I said in our last show that we had, you know, I don't want to be mediocre. I don't want any of our kids to accept that or anything like that. And kids did great. I thought we got better throughout the year. Each and every game I could see us getting better. You know, I just got asked in a magazine little article, if you had one game to pick, play it over again, which one would you pick? And of course, you know, the Brooks game and playoffs right there, but I said Pierce, just simply because they're not in the 10 regular season games. Pierce would be that one because I think we were better at the end of the year. It wasn't even the same team, and I think the kids believed in what we were doing and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm always going to say that about wins and losses. I'd want to be up here, and, you know, the good thing about our kids and who we played and the tough schedule that we played was, you know, I'm sitting there looking through the playoffs last week, and everybody that we got beat by made the quarterfinals. Right. And, you know, in any classifications right there that we got beat by was doing that. We played some tough people. It made us better. I think we played one four-quarter game the whole year, and that was against Brooks County. We did lose, but I thought our kids played their tails off, and I thought they, you know, it was fun watching them. We had the worst week of practice the whole year. I thought we fixed to take a tail whooping, and it's going to be ugly. And I put some ugly things on the board back there during the weightlifting class and stuff like that. And when they came out, you know, we give them that 15 minutes after we come back in for pregame looked bad too. We were dropping passes. Things weren't going like that. When they came back out, I could see it in their eyes. And those suckers were ready to play. We did give up a touchdown on that first series, but we had some good things happen. And then we drop it right back down and score. And our kids believed the whole time. And once you got a bunch of kids that will, you know, play lights out for each other, for their coaches, for their community and their school, then, you know, there's nothing better than that. I have no gripes about it. That's probably the first time, you know, I was telling another coach earlier, that's the first time since I've been a head coach that I was not either just ticked off mad or just deathly upset. I was, this sounds bad, being satisfied, but when you have kids give 100% in everything that they do, even if you get beat, they ain't nothing better than that. That's what you coach this game to do. And you know, I can't say enough about those kids in there. And those 13 seniors, love them to death, hate that they're leaving. And there's some good ones on there, but you know, they've got some good things coming up. But there ain't nothing that you can expect any better than kids playing 100% lights out. You know, we want to expand that and get better and better. But that's the first four-quarter ball game we've played all year. Now, we beat some teams pretty bad and done that, but I really didn't think that we played 4 quarters worth of ball. And just good and all out. We played like a half here and then another quarter here. We just played 4 quarters right there, and we got beat 24-17. Got, you know, scored. Brooks County scored with like I don't even remember what it was. A little over 2 minutes to go. to take the lead on the busted coverage right there. And, only thing I can think of is, shoot, let's get this thing and score. And, I'll go ahead and tell you, it wasn't discussed before game. And I probably would have had my throat cut after the game if it would have happened. But, if we score right there at the end, we were going for 2. We were going for the win. We weren't playing for the tie. So, a lot of people might not have agreed with that. But, there was a 4th down and 2 call that some people will say, Lord, Coach, where are you throwing the football? Well, number one, they had 9 people in the box. And we got a tall receiver right over there. And our whole thinking going into that Brooks game right there is we're going for broke. Nobody expects us to win. We're going for broke on everything that we do. And if we ever hit this, it's on. And we're going to expand the lead and all that. There was 4th and 2 play right there. And they were bringing the house. And they had 9 coming, and we were having a hard time blocking them anyway. And we'd even called timeout for it, and it never changed my mind. We were going to throw that fade to Tron right there and get it. And if he catches that sucker, it's on. And everybody's, I guess I'm just a little bit different on some play calls, Shane, about, on doing this. And we're going to take chances and take risk and do all that. People say, well, you should have punted the ball in that situation, or you should have run the football. Well, everybody can say that, What if Georgia doesn't pooch kick it right there and allow Tech to win that game? I mean, there's calls that you can make all types, but you're trying to do the best that you can in that certain situation right there. And I want our kids taking risks in their life, good risk, but I want them taking chances in life like that. We're going to go for it all, and we're going to do some good things here. And I think our kids bought into that. None of them doubted. None of them said run the ball. They thought that was a good play to run to. And it's 4th and 2. I think it was on our side of the field, and we were going for it. And it's just things like that. But we were going to go for 2 if we scored there at the end. We were going for the win, and we were going to try to shock people and make a run in the playoffs and do it. But didn't end up our way. But I couldn't ask for a better group of kids. And get back to your question about, I think we'd be where we are. Wins and losses, I wanted to be up there. A lot more wins. Shoot, man, I'll take an undefeated season. Thought, we probably could have won a couple more games than what we did. But we played a tough schedule. We really did. But as far as attitude of kids, when I first got here to what it was after that game or what it is right now, it ain't even close.
The swagger is what I noticed, and it started in that Pierce County game to me. In that Groves County, you really saw it pull out of Groves
Right.
game. You saw it come out towards the end of the game. And then even in the Brooks County game, you never saw any quit in them at all.
It's not doubt. There's no doubt. And I really didn't see it in the Brooks County game. I thought, we fixing to beat these suckers. This is wild, when we hit the long pass for about 92 yards to Tron, and Drell made a heck of a throw right there deep in the territory. I want our kids knowing that we're going to throw the ball from anywhere. We'll throw it from the end zone. We'll do it anywhere. So they're going to have to play pass coverage against us and play to run at the same time. And I thought our kids did a great job and all that. But you're right. I didn't get to go to the Groves game. I was watching it with Mr. Johnson right there. But, there's no doubt in their mind. We're fixing to score. We can do this. And I want them thinking that the whole time they're in life. They're going to make it through tough times without any doubt. As long as I got the good Lord on my side, I got the mindset we're mentally strong, and I'm going to do it. And I want them doing that when they're in the military, on the job, or just being that good husband and daddy. So, but they did it, and I did when I first got here. It was rough getting to know some of these kids right here, and it was not a personality conflict. It was just, and be honest with you, it's when one coach leaves and they're close to one coach, and it's hard to replace somebody like that. I still talk to some of those Cook boys over there, but these kids accepted me, and I told them after that game, some of them stood up and made comments after the game too, but I appreciated every one of them for accepting me and doing that. It was a struggle there at the beginning, but that's how you get to be family. We're family members, and we argue amongst family, all the time. But you keep it within the family, and and nobody else is going. I can get on my boys and say things to them, but ain't nobody else going to talk bad about them, and I ain't going to let that happen. And I think they do the same for me and the rest of the coaches here. But great group of kids that we have here now. I said it many times, say it again, but did I think that it would be as good as it is now? I was doubtful, to tell you the truth.
Well, I'll be honest, from that first meeting that you guys had in the lunchroom back in March until that Brooks
That was
County
actually
game.
about the second meeting.
Yeah.
The first meeting when I came that day.
They shut the doors
Right.
that day.
We had to shut the doors. That was pretty bad.
From that group, Coach, to what happened in Brooks County over there was, I didn't see it going that far. The boys really evolved this year and came together as that family we were talking about.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick break, Coach, and we'll come back and kind of break more specifics down about the game. I've got a lot of folks we want to try to thank for this year and what they've helped us do. Bennett and Johnson Insurance Company have been a big supporter of Red Raider football and the Touchdown Club and BCTV all year and in the previous years. James Miles Auto, a big supporter as well, doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. James does as well, bringing Gatorade you guys on game day and just different stuff he does to help that. Wilcox Communication, they donated or helped with the 4G connection on these away games. You guys could see the games and see them in pretty much real time as close as we could get it. And of course, BCTV, Brent, his class that do a good job of production. And you got to think those are mostly kids behind the scenes running those cameras and doing the computers and stuff and do a great job. And we're hoping that maybe that'll lead to other stuff for them. But actually, they all do a great job on that. We want to thank them here publicly for that. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back and kind of break a little bit more down the Brooks County game and talk about what's coming up next for Red Raider football. We'll be right back. All right, Coach, before we break down or get more specific about the Brooks, we want to take some time to thank a lot of folks, and I'll let you take off, but I mean, First Baptist breakfast, all that good.
First Baptist Church cooking breakfast for us, each and every morning before Friday night football games. You've heard me say it before. Wouldn't feel right if we didn't. And Shane was right there cooking along with them. Before the Brooks County game, Subway, Mr. Ron Williams and his wife and all the ladies up there cooked us breakfast. And I say cooked us breakfast, 50 sandwiches, and man, it was 90-0. They did a great job giving our kids sandwiches and basically anything that they wanted to eat that morning. And man, that was huge. And we sure do appreciate Mr. Williams and his wife for doing that. But all the area churches around Alma that fed us during the year, and just nice ladies and gentlemen. And had some kids that work in there too, and even some high school kids sometimes would pitch in to help, and just appreciate their help and just doing that for our kids and our football team. But just a great community we have here. And Dairy Queen hooked us up on some hamburgers a lot of times for varsity games and JV games throughout the year right there. And they didn't have to do that, but ended up hooking us up and giving us a great deal for that right there too. So Dr. Jason Cox been on the sidelines for home football games and helping us with our injured. Lord have mercy, we had a bunch injured at home, and Dr. Cox would have to look at those. So it's always eases my mind when we have a doctor on the sideline right there to do that. Had another doctor on the sideline too, Dr. Lane Rickard, our superintendent. You couldn't tell that was her at the Brooks County game or the MCA game because she was so bundled up. But Dr. Rickard, we sure do appreciate you doing the stats for us, being on the sideline and doing that. And her husband, Mr. Kirby, being basically our ball man, running the footballs back and forth, was a former official for about 20 years. And, I'll give him a little credit for the kick 3 that we did at Pierce County too. We'll just leave it at that. But Mr. Kirby, we sure do appreciate you doing that too. And, I wanted to mention one more time, you mentioned him earlier, but Mr. James Miles, he didn't say a word about it, but brought us Gatorades and water for the coaches and the kids for pregame and halftime every ball game. And brought us big old coolers right there. Never had to worry about making that. The kids had something to drink and stay hydrated every game. And Mr. James Miles, we sure do appreciate you and your love for these kids and what you did for us.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, right before at the last session here, we'll talk about a few more folks. It takes a lot of folks to make this train roll, and we really appreciate the help we get, especially in this community. Coach, Brooks County game, going into it, like I said, nobody gave us a chance at winning that game. I know Brooks is looking back, probably knowing that's the toughest game they had pretty much in the playoffs so far, other than maybe Hurd County. But I guess just trying to start the conversation here, good, bad, negative. If there was something you could redo in that game, is there something you redo? Is there something that you thought you'd do over and over again?
Oh yeah, well, we came out in the horseman package. That was going for us good. That's when we have those 3 running backs and Drell back there at quarterback, and it gets to where you're running downhill and you think you can wear on people, but Brooks County has the people to pound you right back. And we knew some things that they were going to do, so we had some counters for that. I wish I'd have done 1 or 2 more things a little bit different right there that we've been practicing on differently, but you can always second guess yourself. Even when we won by, you scored 40 and 50, there was a couple of things I wish I had done differently then, and it just didn't go our way. But even on the last drive, we hit the big pass to, Aubrey throws that pass to big man, and we get, 30 yards, and we're getting into territory. We kind of just stalled, but they went into a different coverage. We had plenty of time. I think it was around a minute right there to go, and people are panicking and stuff like that. We had plenty of time to run a slow screen, and the one that's killing me right now is I should have run the slow screen, which is the fullback screen, right out there outside the tackle. They were backing the defensive linemen are rushing. They're backing everybody else off into a deeper coverage, and I wish I would have run the slow screen. It would have been there. And what you're doing is, you're just trying to eat up yards. We got the first big pass right there. On that last drive, and you just want to inch closer and give your offense a chance to throw one to the end zone. And they were leaving 4 back in the end zone at the time and had that great athlete at safety, and he's a heck of an athlete. That's why they're in the semifinals right now. But still thought we had that at the end. We were going to heave one to Tron right there, and I give Aubrey the go ahead. I said, now there's sometimes when I say very rarely, and I mean rarely, where you shake me off, kind of like a pitcher does a catcher. And they had 3 guys to Tron. And Aubrey saw it pretty quick after he took the last snap and tried to sling one in there to Drell right at the first down marker. It was pretty close, and I think they got a hand on it and knocked it down. But there's some mistakes on that drive that we can't do. I won't go into them. And we can't, we got to be a little bit smarter. We go over it every week. We've been going over it since the summer. But that's the kids learning what we got to do and putting in pressure situations. Noise was not a factor. The band's playing anything like that. It's louder during practice. So that's never been a factor for us the whole year. like I said, I'll say it many times again, our kids fought to the end. There's a lot of things you can do. College football teams, some of the best coaches in the nation are asking themselves after a loss, man, I should have done this, man, I should have done that. And they're making millions of dollars, and we can all do it. And it's all easy for us because we're getting the instant replay on TV, and we can watch it over and over again. But yeah, there were some things I could have done different in doing that. But as far as the kids' effort, man, 100%, I can't complain.
Yeah, and one other thing I'd like to mention as far as fan support, that was probably one of the best games I've been to in a long time in Bacon County with the support of the fans. And I can say personally from sitting, I don't think anybody sat down the whole game.
Right.
And every defensive series, you heard a defensive chant. It was exciting to be at. It was fun. That's what it's all about to me. What that whole encompass there and what we were
Had a little student section at too,
good.
and it was good to see all the fans there. And
it was exciting.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So, going into the game, I know we had a few injuries. We're going into next year looking at some injuries carrying over. I know Jacob, we're still getting him checked out. How are we looking at going into next year as far as, have we lost anybody that as far as injury that we can't get back? Or
no, we're talking about Trent. Trent's already had one knee surgery. Trent Hardy is going to have his ACL surgery here pretty soon. Jacob is I've been saying it. We don't shy away from it. He's been beat up all year long. He came in today. We're doing max work today. We did bench today, and that sucker comes up, and his body's changed a little bit because now he's still big and thick. His neck still pokes out further than his head. That's a compliment, Jacob. But he's still big and buff, but his body's changed a little bit because he ain't been able to work out. And he gets up under there and, bench presses up under over 300 pounds today. And we wouldn't let him go up any higher than he wanted to. But, the kid can't even throw a baseball. Can't swing the bat right now. And that's killing me. I don't want to say hate. I despise anybody or any football coach that doesn't want kids to do well in other athletics, and it's just about his sport. I can't stand it. We want our total program here at Bacon County to be all around. We want him to do that. I love watching Jacob Carver play baseball. He's aggressive, just as aggressive in baseball as he is football. And it's bothering me that we're trying to get this thing fixed so he can, at least if he can't get on the mound and throw, that he can swing the bat and play third or play first or play something. Mm-hmm. And it's not bothering him too bad right now because it's not baseball season yet. But, he's trying to get loose to play baseball because that's his next thing that he's fixing to do, and he can't do it. And so we're fixing to get him worked on a little bit after today and seen about, we're going to basically give him an MRI over the whole body. And but he's the main one right now in Trent, but everybody else I think will be fine. Jeremy Snow's graduating. God bless Jeremy. He was out, couldn't play the last couple of games, but would have helped us big time. So, you talking about arguably our best lineman, one of our best offensive linemen, Trent Hardy, and one of our best defensive linemen, if not the best, Jeremy Snow right there. And then you got starting middle linebacker, Jacob Carver, and running back too. Being so beat up and not being as 100% the whole time. And then, Demetrius came back. Demetrius, I think, got better the second half of Groves. And then MCA played a lot better, made plays, and he was all over the field against Brook. Textbook tackles. Can't say enough about Demetrius doing that. I thought Anthony Florence played great on defense. I thought, Devontae Back might be our most improved player over the year. Doing that, just seeing that kid's eyes light up and not being scared of anything when he was doubtful at the beginning of the year makes me proud to have coached that guy. And that's because of Coach Thad Williams and him doing his part, Coach Langford and them. But can mention a lot of kids right there, but just real proud of their effort.
Well, what do you see as changes from this year to next year? I mean, any changes you're going to try to make as far as positions, coaches, weight room, any changes you
right. Well, I say we started today, right after Thanksgiving holidays, working for next year. We're really maxing right now. We've got our middle school weight room going on down there, and they're going heavy, trying to get back into flow after a week off from Thanksgiving. But I don't know yet as far as, the horseman package that we have. that would be nice to run every year. I don't know that we'll have the kids to do it with. I don't know. I don't know what we can do. We'll have to see what the talent is. It was the same way it could. In 2010 we did the horseman stuff because we had the kids to do it, and then the next year we did it with we called them the Smurfs because they were smaller. And after that, we didn't run it for 2 years. So this was basically the first year that we'd run it again and had the kids to do it with. There's certain things that, you can say, well, why don't we do this anymore? If you don't have the kids to do it with, you can't continue to do the same things. You're going to have to change it and adapt to whatever you have on the field right there. I'll go ahead and tell you that defensively, we're talking to an old school guy that I used to work with about some things. And it'll be very unique, and it's built for kids that's smaller in stature. We did it at Cook. It's what started Cook's program off with, and we're going to make us a little trip. Coach Langford and I won't go any further than that in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to probably, might go to this on some occasions, and it'll be, you won't be able to tell what's coming, but I'll tell you this: you got 11 on defense, and it might be 10 of them coming after the ball carrier. It's some crazy stuff, but it's meant for kids that it's not. We're not going to sit back and let anybody come at us. So if you're talking about changes right there, we're going to be the same aggressive and stuff like that. So we're going to go after people and pin their ears back and go, and that's what we want our kids to be known for. So.
What are you looking at as far as schedule? I know we're in the year 2 with Pierce and those, but I mean, the first part of the year, I know region schedule's not going to change any, but
non-region's not going to it's not going to change either. Not this year. It's on a 2-year slate, so you do that. The only thing that'll change is the K-Row game, and that's a scrimmage. That was a 1-year contract. I just got through talking to another coach about that. I don't know that we're going to do the 2 scrimmages again. We may find it in our best interest of us to do spring. The only problem that I have with spring practice is especially at a smaller school, and I'm hoping that it happens, baseball, tennis, golf, track, and our kids are doing that. If they're doing that, then we're going to hunt for a scrimmage game, another scrimmage game. We're already playing ATCO again, and the ATCO game will be here, scrimmage game. The K-Row game was a 1-year deal. They probably won't do that again, I know that, but we talked about it, and that was just a 1-year thing. Could we do that again? We could, but it hadn't come to time to talk about that yet. So we're hoping our spring sports are doing well. That way we can't have spring practice. That's a good problem to have, and then we just make it up in there. But we may have to do spring practice and get our kids to and see what we got and do it that way. And there's only one way to figure out what you got. You can look in the weight room, you can look going down the hall, but you got to get the pads on and go to it and see what you can do and put people in the right spots. That way you go into summer with an idea. So, this will be a little bit different because all the coaches are here this year. It was just me last year, so we'll have more of a plan going into what we want to do, but hadn't made up our mind yet as far as that. But definitely the ATCO scrimmage, and then the rest of the games, they'll just be flopped from home and away. So Pierce game will be here next year, and the Groves game will be here. The McIntosh County game will be here. But we'll have to travel somewhere.
The schedule the way it was this year, we had the 4 home, 3 away. That can't change. It's got to stay in the same sequence as that as well.
Same sequence is everything, just the home and away are switched on all those ball
games. So we'll have 4 away this year and then 3 home at the end of the season, kind of like we did this
right,
last year.
At the end, yeah.
Okay. Well, Coach, I'll give you a few minutes before we close out here to anybody else you need to think of. I know especially Booster Club, all the folks, our Vice President, Mr. Tim Allman, his wife, Ms. Claudia Allman, Joe Hayes, his wife, Mr. Eddie Krabs, all the stuff he does behind the scenes that helps folks. We got
Mr. Cofer, all of them.
Yeah, Mr. D.L. Cawthorn. I'm going to miss somebody, and I apologize if I miss your name, but there's a lot of folks. Mr. Audie helped park. Mr. Colby Manning helped park cars out there, did anything we could ask to do. Ms. Kim Manning. There's name after name I can go through that. If you're a part of this Touchdown Club and help this year, we very much appreciate it because it could not have been done without the help of a very active Touchdown Club, and I was very proud to see all the help that we had this year with the Touchdown Club. Coach, I don't know of anything else other than
Tony Nipper. Wanted to say that. I don't know if you mentioned him, but also want to thank this guy right here for since day one, Shane Bennett's been right there beside me, helping me, guiding us through things, and helping us, trying to get us everything that we've asked for, and then some. And can't thank you enough for what you do for us and the program, and just being a community guy. Because it's not just about program, not about the school, but you're a community guy too. Just wanted to tell you thank you for what you do, being a supporter.
All right, well, we appreciate it. And too, Mr. Brent back here behind the camera. There's just a lot that goes on behind the scenes that he does that folks don't get to see. Get this camera work set up and getting there to the games early and getting that stuff set up too. That's just a big part of it. So you guys can see the game again on Monday, or if you're not able to make it to the game, watch it on demand as well, or live. So, and two, we'll be in touch with, or read the web pages and BC Radio Football. We're going to try to do something maybe different next year with BCTV as far as how we pay. We don't know what we're going to do yet on that, so just stay tuned on that as far as how that works out. So need your feedback on that. If you like it one way or the other, please let us know. Coach, I'm looking forward already to next year.
Yes, sir.
It can't come soon enough. Football season, it seems like there's a lull right now because there's no football going on.
Yeah.
So it took a little while just to even get this last show together. We didn't want to end it up, but it's been a great year. I've enjoyed it. This has been a ride that we don't want to stop. So we're looking forward to another year. And just because, if there's any question, the man's not going anywhere. I heard as soon as the game's over, the kids started asking again, and it's just the kids have been used to that over the last few years, and it's just we've got folks that want to be here and are here, and we're proud to have them. Until next year, folks, we will see you. Thanks for the Red Raider Coach Show. This is your host, Shane Bennett, Coach Cofer.